This is Gospel Music Today. We're at the National Quartet Convention, and we are talking to someone who's involved in gospel music in a little different avenue, and we're going to have an interesting talk with Steve Allen today. And Steve, welcome to Gospel Music Today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Now tell me about the Square One Studio. There's an interesting story that goes with that.
Well, I moved to Nashville from West Virginia in August of '98, and right after I moved here, I met Scott Fowler and Roger Bennett, who owned Square One Studio at the time. And I started out as an intern, and I had the privilege of buying the studio in 2001. And we're going on our 16th year of business, working with wonderful clients from across the country in nearly every genre of music. And we are so thankful for how God has blessed us over the years.
Now, were you a Southern gospel fan at that time, or did you grow into it after you became involved?
Oh yes, I was raised on the Goodmans, the Rambos, the Cathedrals, the Opry. Saturday night it was Hee Haw and the Opry at my house. So I was very familiar with gospel. That was my roots.
Oh, that's great. Now, you've been involved in some really interesting projects. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I've had the privilege of working with a lot of my heroes. I'm very thankful for that. I got to work with George Jones back in May, and that was a real honor. But as of late, I've been able to work on a brand new Vestal Goodman record, and I know that she's been gone for nearly 5 years now, but I had the privilege of doing her last recording 12 days before her passing. And ironically, I also did the very last recording for Dottie Rambo, and that was just 7 days before the tragic bus accident. We were actually working on 3 projects with Dottie, a studio record, a tribute record, and at the last moment we took a concert that we were doing and made it a live album, and that was the last thing that she ever did. So that's the common denominator between the two.
Now tell me about the Howard and Vestal project. That's really fascinating.
Well, I've been a good friend of the family for several years, and how the project came about was I was transferring all their old masters from the antiquated formats into the new digital technology that we have today for archival purposes. And in the process, I found a lot of gems that the world has never heard. The Goodmans recorded absolutely everything. And in the process of transferring these for archiving and for posterity, I went to Rick Goodman and I said, Rick, the people who love Vestal need to hear these. And we worked out a partnership, and Rick and I put together a new album that we just released. The pre-releases, we brought a handful with us to NQC. The official release date will be here later in September. We're calling it Unsurpassed Masters, and it contains 14 unreleased cuts from Vestal and Howard and a bunch of rarities. For example, we have the Happy Goodman family driving down the road on the bus, working out parts for Better Hurry Up. And we have some, Vestal singing just some impromptu songs at concerts. And there's a Dottie Rambo tribute on there that she did in '93 from a concert out in Tulsa. Real piece of nostalgia.
Well, that's great. That'll really be an item that people will want. That's awesome. Steve, thank you very much. Let me check on the Steve Allen website.
Yes, to order the new Vestal Goodman CD, you can go to worthingtonmusicgroup.com or call me at 1-877-SING-NOW. And if you're interested in some recording time and a producer to work on your records, just please visit squareonestudio.com.
Steve, thank you very much for talking to us on Gospel Music Today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Now back to more Gospel Music Today.